Oh, yeah, there it is. The ceremonial cracking of the beer. Woohoo! All
Good
righty.
times.
Welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. My name is Tom, and I'm a fantasy sports addict.
My name is James, and I too am a fantasy sports addict. Got to take the needle out long enough to do this, but let's go ahead.
Hey, all right, that's right. We got CubbyNole. We got our buddy Addict James, CubbyNole from his YouTube channel, obviously. Very exciting podcast. Let's get right into it. First of all, before we go any further, got to give out our shout outs to the sponsors, Cyclops Vapors, of course, and Santan Brewing, local brewery here. Thank you. Delicious. And, we always give our shout outs. If you want a shout out, you can sponsor the podcast or you can hit that donate button like our buddy J Money Smooth always does, right? You got to get that fan funding going, James.
I do, yeah. I get. Well, I mean, I got to be honest. I've yet to donate to you guys. Is that bad?
Well, you certainly could hit the donate button, but it's the support's nice. Obviously, that's why Justin's our executive producer. He's J Money Smooth.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to get on that. Money's good.
Actually, you know what? The better thing to do is go buy yourself an FSAA shirt. That's the best way to get a shout out.
I actually like that shirt.
It's pretty sweet.
It's a high quality looking shirt.
Oh man, and
it kind of looks nice. It looks comfortable too.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like nice that generic. It doesn't look like that generic like square shaped shirt that doesn't, it's not form fitting. It actually looks like a little snug.
Yeah. Well, I wear mine snug. Ryan wears his larger. I believe J Money, when he got his, he wore his, because he's a muscly guy, right? He wants his.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
Well, he's putting on the, there's a gun show going on.
See, what I found is instead of working out, I just buy smaller shirts. So it's the illusion.
It looks like you. Yeah. And you can rock the dad bod better in a small shirt, I found.
Yeah.
Man. So, yeah, if you want to get a shout out, buy yourself a t-shirt. Go to Amazon.com and look for Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. Yeah, bam. Shout out. Okay. News. Obviously, I'm not joined by Ryan this time. Ryan's on vacation. He's somewhere on a boat.
Lucky bastard.
Well, he's probably somewhere around you. I don't know. He left from somewhere in Texas and he's sailing, I don't know, around the Caribbean or some stuff. I don't know. I told him not to get lost in the Bermuda Triangle.
Or, he might want to look out for jetties.
Yeah, don't ram your boat into the jetty at full speed. So that's the news. Ryan's out of town, and Jose Fernandez is dead. That was a stunning development. Affected both of us
just a little bit. You can go ahead and lament about your teams. You had a lot of shares.
Well, I was gonna say I'm actually all right. This is the third time something like this has happened to me, and I'm it's literally one of those things where you look at your teams and you're like, am I internalizing this too much? Well, yeah, but do I internalize a fake team too much, or so much to the point that my addiction to fantasy sports is actually unhealthy? And so once again, it has me questioning whether I will continue playing, not just baseball, but should I retire from fantasy sports? I can still talk about it. I'll still know the players but I kind of, I don't know. I feel like retiring. It's just ugh. But yeah.
No, you should not retire. You'll get if you got through it twice, you can get through it 3 times.
Yeah, this is just a little bit bigger though. Losing Oscar Taveras sucked. I was still in rebuild mode, but after that, I bailed on it. It was just a prospect.
Obviously Jose was established, but yeah, man. I'm kind of right there with you. I got the text Sunday morning from a friend. I had to read it twice. You just wake up, you don't know where the fuck you are,
Yeah.
And I'm reading it, and I'm like, is this? No way. This is no. And so I, immediately you hop on Twitter and Google, and you're like, wow, that just happened.
Yeah. Well, no, when I saw it, I was like, Jose Fernandez, maybe some second baseman I haven't heard of or got called up. Nah, it's not Jose Fernandez. No, it was Jose Fernandez. Basically if there's a 1A in baseball pitching, obviously it's Kershaw. For the most part, I think Jose Fernandez was 1B.
I would say he's the top righty. Scherzer's close. but I would probably give Jose the nod.
Given the age, and I mean, okay,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
24 years old, way too soon. What did he had? He had like roughly, I think it was like around 182, 183 innings this year.
Yeah,
Uh,
about 200.
yeah, it was like 253 strikeouts. Had a great season. Actually, more of a season than I even anticipated, to be honest. In terms of him, last year coming off the Tommy John, and I would have thought maybe more of an innings limit. They managed his innings quite well.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I remember in April, his first few starts were a little rough with the control, but once he got control, it was the same Jose that we've seen since 13. It was just lights out.
Yeah, well, and he seemed to be getting better as the season progressed too. I mean, a lot of people said that last game he pitched was the best of his career.
Yeah, that's what's sad. Obviously, what we're missing out on. I mean, it's hard to say a guy at 24 is going to the Hall of Fame, but he had Hall of Fame trajectory. I mean, no doubt.
Yeah, without a doubt, absolutely. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, right? And then we'll talk about unforeseen circumstances. Now,
And
so
go ahead, sir.
well, I guess he, there was a boat. They were out supposedly fishing, and rammed the boat full speed into a jetty. And I don't know much about the circumstances, like how he died specifically, or did he get smashed into the rocks, or
Yeah, I haven't read that either. What I did actually retweet this morning was something kind of eerie and little spooky. Was that apparently Marcell Ozuna was invited by Jose to join him, and
oh
Marcell
shit,
Ozuna, yeah, and Marcell Ozuna declined. And he
wow,
apparently Ozuna told a beat reporter that he had urged Jose not to go. I guess because late at night, it's you never,
not it's the old story. Nothing good ever happens after midnight.
Was it that late? Was it that late when he crashed? I don't even know.
It said something like what I read was something about 3:30 in the morning Eastern.
Oh wow. Okay.
But that's when the Coast Guard found the wreckage, I believe. So
Oh, okay.
I don't,
So,
apparently he was
so
an
again,
experienced. Well, yeah, if he's an experienced avid boater, you kind of have to wonder, like you'd think he'd be familiar with those waters. And so I
oh
don't know
yeah.
if is he piloting the craft? Is a friend piloting this was his group of best friends. So theoretically you'd think they'd all know the water. And it just seems
Yeah.
odd that the boat's going to get rammed full speed into a pile of rocks.
It really does. And I've actually heard, this is like an aside, but some douchebag, and I'm gonna call him a douchebag. I don't even know him, but he had a video like he sounded like Gunk. He had a conspiracy theory behind this.
Okay,
I
actually,
want
I was gonna mention that. I need to talk to Gunk about this.
I forgot what this conspiracy theory was, but I just wanted to punch the guy in the mouth. I was like, you're kidding me, right?
Okay, so
I just don't go for those.
well, I don't know what the conspiracy theory is or the theory about it, but I do want to ask about Jose's number being 16 and the significance of him dying in 2016 and our crazy. Well, I won't say crazy. We don't know if he's crazy. He actually sounded like he knew math quite well.
Yeah,
And I
definitely
actually
do the new math.
I thought his name was actually Tony Gunk. I forgot what I was watching the other day, but Tony Gunk is a character on like a TV show or in a movie or something.
Is it really? I
Yeah,
had no idea.
I'll have to look it up. But I was like, holy shit. That wasn't his name. Like I was like, oh shit. So it's like I don't know. Maybe it was like an HBO show.
So you happened upon it. You didn't like Google Tony Gunk. You just
No,
happened to watch something.
yeah, I was like literally watching an episode or saw a movie. I don't know what the fuck it was now. I forgot, but that's a total like sidetrack thought. But so that's where he got his name, I guess. But or maybe it really is his name. Maybe there is an actual Tony Gunk, and it's one of those things at the end of the credits of the movies. They're like any likenesses or names, and they always disclaimer like not about a real person. Whatever. Sidetrack.
Yeah. But well, I guess one other thing I would like to say about it was I usually am. I'm about your age. We're in our 30s, right?
Yep.
At this point, we're pretty fucking cynical. At least I am. I'm assuming you probably are too. When it comes to like celebrity athlete deaths, I kind of like, okay, that sucks. Whatever, crack a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, with this Jose thing, it was just a little different. It took, I felt a little something. It was just, I guess this has largely to do with his age and what could have been, and not that he was just like Maddox on the mound or Lester, who are both two guys that are real businessmen like, but you could tell he just loved the fucking game.
The way he played.
The
That's
way
absolutely
he played
yeah.
makes him endearing to
Well,
anybody that watched baseball.
the like beaning guys, the getting beaned by guys, the staring people down, like he would shout across the into the other dugout. How'd you hit that one off me? He'd like, but he played like I don't know. I mean, he was that new school make baseball fun again.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
you can tell he loved the game, and it's not a surprise considering his background.
I mean, I always say, try not to be too biased or too much of a homer, but like if you want to play fantasy, have players you like for whatever reason. We all know we have players we like for whatever reason it is. Jose Fernandez was totally one of my favorite players to watch.
Easily.
And just, I mean, so I had the clone team investment. I just lost one of my best players. If not two, with Matt Harvey's situation. So this has been a brutal year, and I thought I had 7 aces. I'm down to like 3, maybe. Oof.
Jeez.
But so I'm like, I mean, you saw my super team, and it just crumbled, and I'm not even worried about it. Like, I don't even honestly. All right, honestly, like Ryan. All right, like Ryan was asking me if I was going to do a red light video for having lost early and not winning a championship in my league. And at this point, I'm not even going to do a red light video about losing to Justin in Ryan's league because I don't even give a shit. Like, I'm just, you know what I mean? Like that Jose shit. And so this is why, like, am I internalizing my own dynasty teams too much? But it's not, it's more than that. It's more than that. Because honestly, when you look at the big, you zoom out and you see the big picture, the Marlins invested money in that guy. He wasn't getting paid huge money, but he was a huge part of that franchise. He was a huge part of that team, all the lives and the people in that clubhouse and the
city.
Yeah. And just as fans of baseball, it doesn't matter if you're not a Marlins fan. And by all accounts, he sounded like a really good guy in the community and just I don't know.
And he apparently left a pregnant girlfriend behind.
Yeah.
And he had just announced 5 days prior about the pregnancy. He was excited. It's like, God damn, man, it's just such a shame. And watching the pregame ceremony last night, or at least a replay of it, like even the announcer, Rich Waltz, is like the color man for the Marlins. Like, you could hear his voice quivering as he was like trying to announce like the pregame stuff.
Well, because it's just unfathomable. You don't even. I mean, people in their 20s, like 20s is the best time of your life, no matter who you are, where you are. Usually, like.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, life's literally not ever going to get better than your 20s. Like, you're going to have the most fun, do the coolest shit, like, be the most adventurous you're ever going to be. You're ever going to be able to be, like
the best shape you're probably going to be in.
And so, like, just a human being in the prime of their life, and some seemingly so senseless, and really, like, I don't know what the answer is going to be. I don't know what we're going to find out as the story unfolds with investigations and so forth, but
yeah. I hope no drugs or alcohol come. Not that I give a shit, but I know there's going to be those people that are going to be like, well, see, he deserved to go. It's like, fuck that shit, man.
See, I don't think, I mean, that was the Oscar Taveras situation. Very drunk, bad roads, raining, driving a crappy American sports car, irresponsibly on crappy roads in a rainy situation. And he was drunk, and while I don't believe that makes him, that doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't diminish the loss. And I don't think nobody deserves it. That is a mistake. That is a poor choice.
Yeah, exactly. He made an awful choice. I mean, the same people that would say that are the same people that have drived after drinking before. That's why I can't say shit. I'm sure you have too. I know I've got behind the wheel when I shouldn't have, so I'm not going to be.
Oh, absolutely. No. And it's one of those things. We all make mistakes at various points in our lives. And like, even when you're like older, you're still prone to, like, we're humans. We make mistakes, even if we have the best of intentions. And so I do hope, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. I mean, here's what I think. Honestly, like, I doubt there's drugs involved. I'd be surprised. But how do you go fishing and not have some alcohol? Right?
Yeah, right.
Or like, you know what I mean? Like, you're probably like, all right, so here's the thing. Jose was supposed to start Sunday. This would have won my championship, but it was a patty cake start going against the Atlanta fucking Braves. He would have thrown a fucking perfect game and struck out 27. They thought that game against Washington was his best game. No, that game against Atlanta where he fucked. Hey, I've seen perfect games thrown against Atlanta. Randy Johnson, huh?
Right? He would have gone full Brendan Fraser in the scout.
Yeah, it would have been amazing.
Just 81 pitches.
Yeah. Like, I mean, seriously, like that's what could have been. And then because they canceled his start, he goes out Saturday night and he's fishing at 3 a.m. because his start was moved back to Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And that, it
was eerie to say the least.
Just the way, things that seem like, now imagine the pressure or the weight on some of the, like, whoever made that decision. I don't know if it was Mattingly or like the GM or.
They got to feel like shit. Yeah.
Well, you got to, I mean, how do you not think, man, if he had just made his start against Atlanta? And I think that is a fantasy owner too, but it's like, I mean, think about these little twists of fate in life. What an ironic plot twist. Had he started Sunday, there's no fucking way he's out fishing past midnight.
Hell no.
Like, so it's just one of those things. It's like, it's so weird. Bizarre. And I was like, I was pissed about losing again, he probably, well, all right. So here's the really shitty thing. All day Saturday when Ryan and I are working, making all these new videos we got coming out, we're talking about, wouldn't it be, because I saw he was starting Sunday. We talked about that, like, all right, comes down to Jose Fernandez. And then I was laughing about, like, oh my God, they just canceled him. They just pushed him back to Monday. And Ryan's laughing. He's waving the Jose Fernandez faces at me, like, my name is Jose. And we're joking about, like, would it be ironic if Jose Fernandez ended up being the deciding factor for me again this year?
Yeah, because last year you pushed out and didn't start him.
Yeah, well, all right, so remember he had the TJ, and then he came back, was looking good, and then he had some shoulder fatigue or whatever just from, not pitching, and came back right in time for the fantasy playoffs. But I figured first start, I don't remember who he was pitching against, maybe Washington or somebody, I don't know. But I was like,
you're right. Yeah, I'm sure your thinking was sound, but bad luck again.
Right, and then so this year, like, I already had a great season from the guy, but like, maybe I'll just, that'd be great if he won it for me this year. Oh, wait, no, he's not starting. Then, oh, wait, now he's dead. Like, what a fucking turn of events.
I don't mean to laugh, but I'm just laughing at you, not Jose. That's ridiculous.
Well, it's just, I mean, that was like literally like, that was in a 12-hour swing. You're thinking like, all right, the guy's going to win me my first championship in Ryan's Dynasty League. Yeah. Oh, crap. Well, hopefully it doesn't come down to him not starting, like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, oh, now I have to drop him for now he's dead, and he's no longer even a keeper player. And like, that's.
I mean, it'd be kind of morbid, but you could keep him.
Oh, I kept Tavares, but like all right, so what'll happen is he won't even be in the player pool next year.
Yeah.
That's what's happened every other time. Man, that's what. All right, so you dropped him in the FSAA.
I did. I
was going
to say.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I feel it to a lesser extent because when I hopped on FantasySportsAddicts.com, great site, you should join. This Dynasty League that you guys started was my first ever Dynasty ever. I've never.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that.
No, never. It was my first one, so I'm all excited. I take Jose Fernandez with my second pick. And I'm fucked. So it's needless to say a crappy start to my dynasty career, and the timing is obviously shitty too because I'm in the finals in that league, and I wouldn't mind having a guy like that.
Well, let me ask you this: are you still playing? Like, are you like? I gave up on I still have teams that are playing, and I still have like roto teams especially, but again, Jose. Redraft or dynasty is probably one of my most universally owned players, and I'm just not I'm just not looking at my baseball teams the rest of the season. I don't care what league, whatever it is. I'm just not looking at them at all. I can't. I actually can't.
I feel you. I'm still going full head of steam because, as I probably mentioned before, I don't have nearly the teams that some people like JD and some other guys that have 20 plus teams. I only had 5 this year.
Okay.
And 2 of them had Jose. Obviously the one I just mentioned, and the other one I lost in the semifinals, so whatever. And the other ESPN league I won, so I still got one title under my belt, and so I'm down to 3 leagues now. I got
Okay.
the Dynasty one that I talked about that I'm in the finals. Is Ham Dinner? Is that J Money?
Yeah, that is J Money.
Okay, so I'm facing J Money in the finals, and then
Which is a great matchup. And again, that Dynasty League, that goddamn, that was a good Dynasty draft.
yeah, it was. And then in
Except for
the yeah,
except
except
for
for
your
Jose.
situation. Eh.
yeah, and then in the FSA head to head, I'm facing Joe in the finals,
Yep.
and
Another
then the
awesome
FSA.
matchup.
Yeah, that's cool. And then the FSA Roto, Joe's probably got it in the bag. I think I'm like 3.5 points back, but there's only 6 games left, so I'm probably done. But yeah, I still have something to play for, so I'm still trying.
Okay. Well,
Even though Jose was kind of a punch to the stomach.
I honestly think like if I were in your situation, like how many, all right, did you have Jose in any of the other leagues or just the Dynasty?
Just the one of my 2 ESPNs, which I lost in the semis, and
Okay.
then the Dynasty. That's it.
Okay. I don't know who had Jose in the other FSA leagues. Might have even been me. I don't know. But like I just you know what I
What's
mean?
funny
Like
was I don't know if you recall earlier in the year we were like kind of talking trade.
that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna bring that up. I meant to mention, like, I don't remember what the offers were, but I think
We were talking like Chris
was it
Bryant for Jose type deal.
yeah, you could have had I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not
No,
even I mean, think about that. I was like, I know you're a big Cubs fan. I'm a big Jose fan. I wanted to get some pitching because I think I've got Nick Castellanos and I don't know. I had other third basemen, and I was thinking like,
you
hey,
had a good
maybe
lineup in general, so yeah.
yeah. I thought pick up a little pitching here. Chris Bryant for Jose, like tempt the Cubs fan.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was tempting. I think my pitching, I just didn't have enough to let him go. But goddamn, I wish I did now.
well, of course, but that's the thing. That's the thing like in most dynasties or just in any league. I mean, high quality pitching is hard to come by, and like that's just true
Yeah.
for the sport itself. I mean, there's so many high profile prospects that just never completely pan out. It's like Jose Fernandez was a very rare talent, a very rare and special, like, probably like once in a generation type talent. We just didn't get to see it play all the way out. And
because he was what 20 as a rookie or something like that. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, like he was so good, he just went straight to the like forget service time. We're just gonna start him right in the majors in 2013. So
And in his short career, I think his ERA was somewhere around 2.5 for his career. It's just ridiculous.
yeah, and I mean, I mean, again, think about all that sort of went to waste in that situation. Like all that hard work he had to put in to come back from the Tommy John. I mean, it's just such a shame. It really is.
I was really looking forward to having him next year in the dynasty because I was assuming he'd have a full season. I was thinking he could push for 300K next year
easily.
if he pitched 220 or 230 innings.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean,
so I was like, be sweet to have 300K guy next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad news. I mean, that's the thing is, I mean, I just forget even just next year. I'm thinking like, I want this guy, I mean, again, the home leagues have been going on a lot longer than the FSAA leagues, but, I'm thinking like, these are the kind of players you don't trade, right? That was kind of one of those things we said. It was like, there's mutual interest on both sides of this trade, but like, you know what I mean? It's like, you just don't make the trade because it's like,
you took him that high for a reason.
Yeah. You like that guy.
So I
you like,
took Jose in round 2. I'm assuming you took Brian in 1 or 2. I don't know.
Yeah. It's just but it's like you don't want to. You want to see that play out, and especially in a dynasty format where you don't have to drop your whole team. Like you're like, I want to see this guy's entire career.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, man, I think when I drafted him, he was 23.
Okay.
And he just turned 24, but I'm like, wow, this is like a prospect age. This is incredible.
Oh, yeah. And he's already basically the best right here. Yeah. So, I mean, were you just sitting there like looking at your lineup, just complete disbelief?
I think I said fuck me to myself like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck me. What? Fuck me. Because as I said, that was my first dynasty, so I'm like, the way things turned out, I was like, oh, I didn't do too bad of a job, actually. Sweet.
Yeah.
And then that
You're in the
happened.
championship. Yeah. Jesus.
Like,
Now I just my personal disbelief was again. Uh, this has happened to me again. Like, I guess my team is where players just go to actually literally fucking die. Apparently.
yeah, Tom, you're bad luck, man. You should just you shouldn't retire from fantasy sports, but you should retire from dynasty.
Maybe. Or just trade all my players so they don't die because I like them. Like,
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna get a whole new
Swap 'em.
team, a whole new clone team next year. Because I don't want any more of these players that I really like to drop dead on me. Like,
I think
Jesus.
I did have like some tentative plans to go to Phoenix, but I don't think I'm going to now because of you. I think
It's dangerous. Yeah, I don't stay away. Stay away. You get around me and bad things happen.
I think you're like the male version of Rogue. Like you touch me and I'd be fucked.
I don't have that sexy Southern accent though, sugar.
No, no.
Uh,
Well, you want to move to
yeah,
something more positive?
Yeah, let's stop bumming everybody the fuck out. Let's talk about what everybody's talking about these days. They're talking about once again, I am joined by our buddy James, Fantasy Addict James, CubbyNole, and exciting times in your world. 100 wins for the Cubs.
I mean, in my culture, I guess I'm going to just go ahead and be ethnocentric here and just blab on about them. But I mean, needless to say, it's the best season. This is the best season I've ever seen. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, the 100 wins.
Right.
But just now that they've reached, because honestly, I kind of had stopped paying close attention and watching every single game because you knew they were going to the playoffs. So I was, just kind of keeping track, but not really just holding on to every pitch. But now that they've reached 100, I'm kind of looking back on the season and just trying to think what the hell has just happened,
Well, it's the best season in 80 years, apparently.
Yeah, I was reading that this is the 6th time in franchise history they've had 100 wins, and just the 12th time they've led the league in wins, and they've been around about 150 years.
Wow.
So,
okay. So
and
this is nice.
Yeah, this is rare, and
you got to see something special.
Yeah, exactly. I think the last time they won 100 was in the 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
So
I think it's 80 years ago. I read somewhere, I think it was 80 years, literally, exactly 80 years.
Yeah, just nuts. And then I started thinking about like individual performances, and I think you got to start with the most surprising. It's Kyle Hendricks. What the fuck? Like, honestly, he's the youngest guy in the rotation, and so I guess that's nice that the youngest guy is doing so well. But he tops out at 88 miles an hour. He leads the majors in ERA at 1.99. Like, nobody saw this coming. I mean, they call him the professor for a reason, I guess.
Okay, I didn't know that was his nickname.
oh yeah, well he went to Ivy League school. He went to Dartmouth.
Oh, well, fancy that.
So that's a part of it, and then of course, you expected good seasons from Rizzo and Bryant, but even they've exceeded my expectations, honestly.
Okay.
Bryant leads the National League in WAR, and Rizzo's in the top 5 in WAR. They're both top 5 in RBI.
Yeah.
Bryant's second in the NL in homers with 39. Just an unbelievable season. I hope it doesn't come crashing down next week.
I don't think it will. I mean, how's it going to come crashing down? And all the key players are probably going to get rested.
They already have been for a little while now, so they should be good to go. And it looks as though Lester will start game 1, followed by Hendricks. That's the little curveball there, and then Arrieta game 3.
Okay. Ooh, I like that.
So it could work out nicely if they're up 2-0 in the first round, and then you got Arrieta with a chance to clinch.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just spoiled right now as far as the pitching goes, which
that's a nice problem to have. Yeah, Hendricks was like, I mean, honestly, like, I think I had him in one league. I think one rotisserie league. Obviously, of all the situations to have him, was kind of perfect. But
I had 0.
Okay, yeah, and I think it was one of those situations where like I like timed out, lost, like it was like one of those last pick of the drafts, auto pick things where I like timed out of the draft somehow, and computer took Kyle Hendricks, and sweet. I'll
There you
take
go.
that. It was one of those just like happy coincidences or whatever, happy
I mean,
accidents.
some people had him as a sleeper because they figured at the very least he'd rack up W's with that offense behind him. But
Yeah, just playing for the Cubs generally. Yeah,
just generally, I mean, but I had zero. I had zero Chris Bryant too, which is I still want to hit myself in the face for that.
I almost had him in the dynasty for nothing. For
Yep.
actually nothing.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable.
Oh
But
man.
I guess some more on the Cubs being ridiculous. I was reading since 1990, only 4 teams with the best record have went on to win the World Series.
Okay.
So it doesn't happen. Doesn't happen often.
Which 4 teams in which years? Do you know? Do you happen to remember that?
I did not read that, but I know I think the 09. Oh, sorry. I think the 98 and 99 Yankees did that.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that sounds about right, probably.
I think that's 2 of them. Beyond that, your guess is as good as mine.
I mean, I think back to 2001 when, Diamondbacks won. Mariners didn't they set the like all-time record for wins, like 116?
Yeah, 116, which actually tied the 1906 Cubs.
Okay. Okay.
Andrew says the Red Sox were another one in 2013.
Okay. So there's some recent history. It's not outrageous to think that. All right, now let me ask you this. How far back? All right, first I want to ask you this, since we're already talking about World Series.
Okay.
Do you think they're going to win the World Series?
I mean, they're the obvious favorite, but I mean, the playoffs are such that none of that shit matters that they won 100. None of it doesn't matter. Like you can run into a hot pitcher or pitchers and just be fucked out the window.
You don't want to jinx it. You don't want to jinx it, is what you're saying.
No, I'll put it this way. I'll be disappointed. I'll be I'll be disappointed if they don't at least make it to the series.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I think it's asinine for any fan base to say World Series or bust just because the nature of the playoffs can be such a crapshoot.
Right.
So I'm not willing to go, oh, well, if they don't win the World Series, then that's totally, I'm disappointed. Fuck them. No. But I will say, if they don't at least make it to the series, I'll just be like, wow.
Okay. See, if you recall, I do have 108 pies to the face on the line there.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
That's actually going to happen. I think it's going to happen immediately following either a win or a loss during the World Series or at the end of the World Series. And we're going to actually try to break a Guinness World Record. And
is it like shortest amount of time or something?
I don't know if it has to be shortest amount of time, but I'm sure we can still find a way to launch 108 pies in a minute. Like if there's anybody that can figure out how to pie the shit out of one of their friends, it's me or Ryan. Like somebody's going to get hurt.
You know what you should do is have like a really short, not short, but like a decent sized conveyor belt, and you just stick your face on the end of it.
Yeah.
Ryan just like cranks it.
Just keeps pieing.
And so the pies just keep going.
That's actually not a bad idea. I don't know if I don't know if it has to be thrown or you know what I mean? Like we're gonna have to figure this out. We're gonna consult. I think we actually do have to talk to Guinness if we actually want to be in the book. Which would be hilarious press, by the way. Like I think we're gonna actually try to do that. So we're gonna have to look into that. And we got to get on that because that's coming up. I mean, World Series is right around the corner here.
I mean, the Cubs' first game is October 7th, so that's like 10 days.
All right,
be here before you know it. I've been counting down for like a month now.
Okay, yeah,
just can't wait.
Just waiting. All right,
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, finish what you're saying, then I want to ask you a question too about your Cubs fans.
Okay. No, it's JD made a good. Kind of said something that was pretty funny and pretty appropriate. He's like, this past month has been like extended fall training for the Cubs.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they're just like.
I was like, well played.
Back. Yeah, fair enough. Now, all right. Yeah. So, in terms of you being a Cubs fan, how many are you like a first generation or are you
first?
Okay, so just incidentally, you became a Cubs fan.
WGN.
Okay. So I was about
1995, 1996.
Okay, I was curious, like if like your dad and your grandfather, or your grandma. No. You know what I mean? Like I wondered how far back it went.
No, most of my family is borderline rednecks. They only like football.
Okay. Okay.
They're all about the college football. But yeah, my friends were baseball fans. They were all Braves fans, and
Yeah.
I had that choice. Like, do I turn it on TBS or do I turn it on WGN? And and I just happened to watch WGN more. I thought it was ridiculous with the Ivy Harry Carey being Harry Carey.
Right.
The fans still showing up even though they suck. Sammy with his 30-30 chain and all that. So yeah, pretty much from there, I was like, all right, this will be my team.
You're just hooked. Okay. All right. I was curious about that. I was curious about how you came to love the Cubs.
Yeah, yeah, and there's been some bright moments, 03, 07, 08, last year, this year, but I mean, in 20 something years, I've seen this will be the fifth postseason appearance, so it's
Okay.
been mostly bad,
All right.
mostly bad.
Mostly bad.
And actually, I don't know. I had a question for you or any baseball fan, actually,
All
because
right.
me and I got two of my closest baseball friends, I'll call them, like the Braves and the Marlins, and they're like a married couple. They're almost like you and Ryan sometimes. They go back and
Right.
forth.
Oh yeah.
And so the one Marlins fan um, was pretty much arguing with the Braves fan. If you had a choice, would it be to be a fan of the Marlins, in which they've won two World Series, but the other 20 years they've basically sucked, or would you rather be a fan of a team like the Braves that went to the playoffs for 16 years in a row?
Uh, I don't know. I think there's something to be said about winning and tradition. As much as like the Diamondbacks are an expansion team. We're basically just a little bit like until Florida went back to their last World Series and won. The
Mm-hmm.
Diamondbacks had been the fastest growing, most successful like franchise in history, essentially. But we're in
Yeah.
that same boat with the Marlins, where like basically a handful of good seasons and the rest has been dog shit. And a lot of that has to do with ownership, I believe. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'd rather honestly. I mean, I'm envious of Giants fans and Cubs fans and Cardinals fans, because there's such a rich tradition. And as much as Arizona and Phoenix is a baseball city, it's not a Diamondback city. I mean, the fans that are here, they're mostly D-backs fans, but like, let's face it, the stadium fills up and it's full of Red Sox fans. It's full of Yankees fans. It's full of Cubs fans or Dodgers fans or Giants fans.
Yeah.
Anytime that team's in town, there are more of those fans. And it's because Phoenix is a transient market. It's like Florida
Yeah.
is in that same regard, where people retire here. They're always from somewhere else,
It's all like Denver.
but there's no, I'm always envious. Like, honestly, like, I kind of want to be a Yankees fan. I hate to say that. I know that probably
A
sounds really disgusting to a lot of people, but
little
like
bit, yeah.
when you look at the rich tradition, I'm just, as a baseball fan generally, as a person like whose initial interest in the sport, like as a kid, we didn't have baseball here. Ryan grew up rooting for the Dodgers when there was baseball on. I just didn't watch it.
Yeah.
We didn't have sports in my house all that much, and I looked at old photographs, stuff like that, like old shit my grandma had. My
Oh,
grandma was a
I
sports fan,
love I love doing that.
but just the
Actually,
old
funny.
black and white photos.
Oh yeah, no, funny little quick story. My dad, and my uncle basically have a Sandlot story.
Okay.
My grandfather gave me the ball they played with, the
Oh
Babe
wow.
Ruth ball.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I was about a teenager, my grandfather gave it to me. He's like, "This was signed by Babe Ruth, but your dad and your uncle ruined it." And I was like, "Holy shit, you're kidding me!"
Was there any remnants of the signature left or what?
Yes, yeah, you could still make it out. It was pretty faded, but you could make it out.
That
And
is fucking cool.
yeah, it was because he got his autograph in spring training. I think in the Florida State League back in the
Wow.
late 20s. I think
Okay.
that
Okay.
that's how my grandfather got the autograph because they were doing
Man.
spring training in Florida. But yeah, my dad, and my uncle fucked it up.
Wow. I mean, that's still got to be worth something, though.
I mean, I'm not
Like,
getting rid of it, but yeah,
well, no, I was gonna say, I mean, if it ever, but like, I almost feel like that adds to the story. Like, the signature is still there, but the fact that there's now a Sandlot
oh
story
yeah,
attached to it, like, it almost, to me, that almost adds to. You could even just try to sell it as the Sandlot, the actual Sandlot ball.
for real.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean,
I feel like that
I'm
almost
surprised
adds
there's
to
not
value,
I'm surprised there's not like slobber on it.
right? You can see the
I
teeth
mean,
marks from the dog.
right? I know, but to go back to what I was saying about my two friends, my answer is because I've never seen one. I'm taking the two championships.
Yeah.
I'm probably taking the two titles, but I can see the argument for enjoying baseball every season for 10, 20 years in a row, as opposed to the Marlins that literally had two good seasons out of like 23.
Well, I think back to our World Series. I mean, again, Phoenix had never won other than like, I mean, I think the championships we have are from like the arena football team and maybe the WNBA team. You know, like we don't have major championships here to hang our hat on in Phoenix. And the Suns are kind of like the Cubs of the NBA, but like, again, very good, strong tradition. That's why it's cool to be a Suns fan, even when we're, going through the shit. But
Yeah.
generally, like, that was the first time I watched baseball. That first season, or the first time I really paid attention, was 2001. And then, of course, Diamondbacks make the playoffs. Diamondbacks win the World Series. I'm hooked for life.
Oh, of
And,
course, yeah. I was rooting hard for them. Holy shit, I was rooting hard for them that year.
I mean, just being able to go downtown, like it was weird. It was like I was like, is there gonna be a riot? Like I didn't know what was gonna happen. I just wanted to be in the middle of it. Like I was hoping there would be a riot or something. But like, we went downtown and just drove everybody just went downtown and parked their car like in the middle of the street, just got out of their cars. And everybody's like hugging and going nuts and high-fiving, like people who would never look at each other or talk to each other on the street otherwise. Everybody's like, woo, we won.
It is awesome. I mean, I thought it was cool when I was in 2008. I was in Gainesville, visiting my friend. We're at a bar watching the national title game.
Okay.
And literally within 3 minutes after the game ended, I looked out the window and the main street, University Street, right in front of UF's campus, was completely filled. People hanging on lampposts. And I'm a Florida State fan. I'm supposed to hate them, but I still thought it was the coolest thing with all these people coming together and going nuts. It was awesome.
Now, I can like that party in Chicago. If the Cubs win the World Series, that party will not stop for like a week straight. Like
I told you I'm following through. I will be there if they have a chance to clinch.
Dude, that will be. I won't, man. Yeah, like a live report, just or like you gotta go to Periscope or something.
No, I would do Periscope, or I would just do a hangout on my phone or something.
God damn, that'd be just like, I mean, just to see I mean, honestly, like think about it, like, what if the Cubs won a World Series? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're a Cubs fan, but just anybody who's just a baseball fan, like it's not happened in my lifetime or any my great grandmother is like 104 years old. She's senile and like a vegetable in an old people home now.
But she still wasn't alive.
She never saw Cubs win a World Series.
No, I know. It's ridiculous.
So there's like nobody alive right now. Well, maybe somebody living in like like a monk in an abbey somewhere in like Tibet, something like that.
Yeah,
maybe he saw a Cubs World Series, but.
Yeah, I've already made an agreement with my friend that either two scenarios while we're going to go to Chicago. One, they're on the cusp of being eliminated, no matter what round it is.
Right.
Or two, they're on the cusp of clinching the series. Either way, I'm going at some point.
Yeah, you got to go. I mean, like, it's almost too bad you can't just go for the entire playoffs and just be like, I'm never leaving.
I know. I'd be like, oh, you can take care of the kid. I'm out. Fuck it.
Man.
Good luck. Yeah, I can't wait though. I got a friend who lives pretty close by, so
okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you could always hire Bronson to babysit.
There you go.
he seems to like your kid a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
He likes talking to your baby. I wonder if Bronson. I don't think we could trust Bronson with kids.
No. I think he even has like a slight semblance of a molester mustache coming in.
Oh God, that's just because he's awkward and he's 15. We love you, Bronson. No, seriously though, I do think I don't know. Wouldn't that be weird if like Bronson was like this, like just somehow like he's like good with kids, just, like not in a creepy way, but like you know what I mean? Like he's just like he's like the ultimate great babysitter. Like you wouldn't expect it, but somehow he's like I don't know. That'd be funny as shit. I don't know.
Well, go Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I always think of funny things that Bronson should do with his life. Because he's not the best student. Let's be honest, Bronson. But we're honest here. Not the most attentive student. Like he's probably sitting here listening to this podcast instead of like going to class. So
yeah, that's true. School's probably still in right now.
Oh yeah, but I guarantee he's not there. And if he is there physically, he's not mentally there. He's like doing something else.
Nah, he's checked out.
He's like staring out the window.
Like his teacher's like yelling at him like Bronson. He just looks up and says, "Erica Kane." Oh,
Erica Kane. Oh, could you imagine if he talked to the kids at that school the way he talks on our website or like in the drafts or like yells at his teacher? Oh man, that kid is fun as shit, man. Oh, he got really screwed. He got really screwed in his money league.
Oh, how so?
I forget which reliever it was, but like, I mean, he had this shit, and like, Ryan and I were looking at it Saturday, and he's like, I don't know, it's still close, and we're like, nah, dude, you got this. Like, we don't often say things are in the bag, but he had this, and like, it was 7-5. It was a close matchup, but like, basically, whatever reliever it was, Felipe Rivera or something like that, I don't know. Whoever it was, like a 1.75 ERA and like, 20 whip or something like that, just absolutely destroyed his pitching stats. And so he ended up losing 7-5 or something like that. And like, so it just blew up on him. And so he went, he was finally gonna have a little money in his pocket. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Like, yeah, he could have. I kept telling him, think of all the Subway you're gonna be able to buy, bud.
Oh dear.
Like, no, so he got hammered in his money league, and like Ryan and I were like, hey, if we were gonna bet on who was gonna win, we'd put money on your team. Like that's how we looked at it. Like if we were putting money on who was gonna win, we thought his team would have won. But so he lost his championship. I don't know. Like I guess so you're still in this. I mean, you're still playing. I'm not even looking at I'm just like too sad to look at my teams. I'm like,
yeah, I get that. I'm feeling pretty good versus I guess J Money, but I get the feeling JD is gonna beat me. If not nothing more than I think he'll put more effort because I did pick up a pitcher in each of those leagues, but I've been pretty lazy for a while, and I've kind of just autopiloted to where I'm at, which I guess is lazy and impressive. I guess
free ball.
Yeah. So when push comes to shove, if a new move needs to be made, then Joe will probably make it and beat me. But if I win both of those leagues, I'm gonna laugh my dirty dick off.
Well, I mean, either way, like winning even one of them, like
no, I'd love to just at least get one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be sweet, like if you won the dynasty, like somehow you're able to pull it out. I mean, like not, I'm not like
in memory of Jose.
Yeah, just kind of one of those things. You know what I mean? Like
Jose's title's for you, bud.
Right. All right. So that actually transitions me to something. I don't know if this is too terrible, but I'm just going to come out and just drop it. Okay. We've got like 5 trophies to hand out this year. We did trophies for our home leagues, and we're going to do trophies for FSAA leagues. And I was thinking about, what my trophy would be this year. Because I got to give a trophy to Ryan, and I really hate, I kind of just hate the idea that Ryan won my league and I lost his, and even though I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not. It's one of those things. Like normally I'd be like really pissed off that I lost. I'm not pissed that I lost to J Money.
Yeah, that's
not all that upsetting. And I'm just not pissed generally, and I think it's because of the loss of Jose more than anything. But I was thinking, what's the best way to like capture this season? And I've decided that I think all 5 trophies are going to be little toy boats rammed into a pile of rocks and spray painted gold.
Oh my god, that would be fucking incredible.
And something about like number 16 in 2016 like etched into it. And just like I don't know how detailed we'll get. I don't know if we'll scatter like little gold corpses around the place, but I think just we'll get some rocks. We'll get some rocks, a little base, some wood, some Gorilla Glue, and little toy boats, and just like ram the shit out of them. glue them to the rocks, and spray paint the whole thing gold. You know,
I shouldn't be laughing, but yeah, I'm imagining this. Yeah.
All right, dude. Honestly, like I laughed when I thought of it. Because I was so sad Sunday. I was like, oh God, I hate life. Life sucks. You know, some cool ass 24-year-old seems like a great guy, had like a harrowing life and a great life story. It just snuffed out and bogus. And here I am, fucking like talk shit to people on YouTube, like. You know what I mean? I'm just like, God, life's bullshit, you know? Yeah. And then I was thinking about this yesterday, and I came up with this trophy idea, and I had such wicked laughter over it. And I was like, really, that is demented. Is it too soon? But then I thought, no, you know, like, laughter heals us. And sarcasm is sometimes the best way to deal with things. I don't know.
It is. That's how I deal with it most of the time.
I think the trophies will be little toy boats rammed into piles of rocks, because that's really even if you didn't own them.
I gotta see these.
Well, I'll do. You know, we don't do half-ass trophies. You know, they're going to be laser engraved and diamond etched and you know whatever the fuck all the fancy shit, 24 karat gold spray paint that I huff. No, but I like really. I mean, is it too soon or is that funny? Because like I mean, again, maybe it like I don't know. I have a dark sense of humor, so
I don't know. I think it'd be funnier if the recipient of those trophies was you, because you have so many Jose's. Like I think this trophy should only be made for Jose owners.
It's like a second place you got fucked trophy or something.
Yeah.
No, I no. Yeah. Well, be all right. Like, let's be honest. If you lose in like the pitching categories for the Dynasty League, like you could have had probably 2 starts out of Jose this week.
Yeah, Monday and I guess probably Saturday or Sunday.
Right, and so that could have been the difference between you winning or losing. So
it very well could have been. Shit.
So should you happen to win, I think it's an appropriate trophy for you. And if JD happens to win, I also think it's appropriate because that might have been the reason why he wins.
Oh, it'll be J Money.
Well, J Money. Okay, that's right, because you're going against J Money. Sorry, I'm looking at the other one. My bad.
I know I'm in so many finals. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm looking at it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what do we got going on here? Okay, so I had all the finals pulled up, but yeah, so I think those are the trophies. Little toy boats rammed into piles of rocks.
I would say if I beat J Money, I will gladly take one of them.
Okay.
In memory of Jose.
Well, and that's why I think it's an appropriate trophy for J Money in Ryan's league, because he should have been going against Jose Fernandez on Sunday. Instead, they sent him out boating late at night. That was great job, Marlins decision making.
Jesus.
That's probably not fair to heap on him. Sorry.
No, it's not. And of course, the irony that they're freaking marlins, which are found in the ocean.
Right. Yeah. Apparently, he was quite an avid fisherman. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe that's a good time to go out fishing. I don't know why else he'd be out there. I don't think he's Aaron Rodgers. He's not dumping bodies. He's not going back to Cuba or anything.
Nah. Jeez.
Man. What a shame. What a loss. I still don't know if I'm going to retire. I still
don't retire.
It's man, it's just one of those things. Like it just takes away your zest, your enjoyment of, you know what I mean? Like like fantasy sports, as much as like we take it so seriously, at the end of the day, it's still supposed to be fun. And when shit like that happens, it's not fun, man. I mean, you know as well as I do, that isn't fun. That was sad.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, do you want to have you looked at the playoff race? I'm finally just looking like macro around the real playoffs, like
the actual MLB playoff. Oh yeah,
I'm just finally doing that.
Let's let me pull it up actually, just so we can be on the same page there. Standings.
Well, I mean, every division's locked up except for the East, but it looks like Boston's going to lock that up any day now.
Yeah, I think that's well. I mean,
6-game lead with six to go. So
I would assume was it like one game?
So their magic number should be 1. I would assume.
Okay.
But the wild card's still a little nuts. I'm finally just
Yeah,
clicking on that.
the wild card matches are quite interesting.
You still got the Mets and Giants at the top. St. Louis is a game behind. I know Andrew's listening. I don't want the Cardinals to go, not just because of the Cardinals, but I don't want to give them a chance at revenge. So fuck them.
Yeah, no revenge, no revenge. So, you know what? I don't want to get tied.
I don't want to give them the chance.
Okay.
So I'd rather just don't make it. Not to mention, selfishly, I'd like to see the Mets go and win their wild card game, and so they can face the Cubs, because the Mets are just. I mean, what are they throwing out there on the mound besides like cologne and a ball of string? Like their pitching's done.
Yeah, the Mets, man. Again, this is one of those things, like when I'm thinking about, like, oh man, I need to go get another ace. Who am I going to trade? How am I going to go get another ace? Like, I think the best play, and this is why the Cubs didn't make the trade with the Mets. All that pitching everybody kept talking about seemed like an obvious matchup, blah blah blah. I was thinking, like at the beginning of the season, like, God, I got to get Syndergaard or DeGrom or something, and nope. I think I'm going to steer clear now, because it's like, well, Fat Harvey's done, and
they're all done. Except for Thor.
They basically. I mean, Noah would be a nice player to trade for, but there's like a snowball's chance in hell of that happening in any goddamn league. But I mean, Cologne that's what's so funny about him. He is just like the glue.
He's had a good year, actually.
No, but I don't know. He's just one of those guys that's just like consistent. The hamburger
just keeps on going, but yeah, right. But for the longest, that was the team I did not want the Cubs to face because of the pitching.
Okay.
Now I'm like, all right, bring them on. I mean, Cologne's all they got. All right. Well, I guess Thor. Well, actually, it would be Cologne game one, because I'm sure Thor would start the wild card game.
Yeah.
So it would just set up perfectly for the Cubs to just wax them.
So we've got So yeah, Boston's like we said in American League, Boston's about to clinch. The wild card leaders for
got the
Toronto. It's basically
the Blue Jays.
It's probably. I mean, Seattle, Detroit.
I mean, they're hanging on, but they need a lot to go right.
It's probably going to come down to, Baltimore and Toronto.
Yeah. Which is fine. I kind of like that.
That just
I like the fact that the Blue Jays going to the playoffs. I like the Blue Jays in the playoffs. It's sweet.
Oh yeah, they should be. Now
they were so bad for so long.
You know what sucks especially for Miami? Think about this here. Like, I mean, they're like what, 4 back in the wild card situation here. If they, I mean, again, 2 of those starts were Jose. Miami may have been a playoff team.
Yeah, may have been. I mean, they just got fucked out the window with big injuries. Stanton.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
I think I don't know. That's just, I mean, that's just such a bummer generally. Marlon, I don't know if you know who Marlins man is. That guy that's always
yeah.
Okay.
I've met him.
You've met him. Okay. He seems like a really cool guy. We follow him on Twitter, and he just seems like a genuinely cool guy.
Yeah. I mean, as far as meet, it was just like a simple hello, but yeah, he was at a Jaguars game last year, so.
Okay. Yeah, I know he's like, I guess he's just some lawyer with like a bunch of money, and he buys up a bunch of seats and like donates them or like gives them away to people to come sit with them. And like, he does a lot with charities, and I don't know, he seems like a really just cool guy, but he was like, man, he was upset. Because again, I think he's pretty involved with the team too. He's like one of those super fans. Actually, there was like a fan of the year or super fan thing. MLB was running a poll. It was like an all-star game for fans.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I voted for Marlins, man. You can bet your ass on that.
Nice.
Mets in San Francisco.
Well, I mean, San Fran's dangerous if Cueto is 100% healthy, because Mad Bum and Cueto is not a bad 1-2 punch.
This is gonna get interesting. I mean, the wild card, like the added wild card game, that
there would be no drama right now if that didn't exist. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it, but if there were no wild card, we'd already be like, it'd be done.
Well, all right. I'll be honest about
I
this.
don't,
If it comes down to like some sort of situation where if either San Francisco or St. Louis are playing the Mets lose.
yeah, probably.
So it doesn't matter who the Mets play, they're going to lose. The Mets may not even be in the conversation by the time that's relevant, but otherwise, like I think, all right, so if the wild card game were happening today in the American League, do you have Toronto over Baltimore then?
Yeah, just their pitching's better.
Okay. You know
And
what?
the playoffs, when in doubt, go with the pitching.
I wouldn't mind seeing Seattle sneak in.
Right?
I mean, with like
Except
Cano and Cruz and like, I forget who it is. I forget.
them and
There's a couple. We got a couple of pitchers I really like, but I mean,
them and
Seattle would be
spending all that
interesting.
money.
Yeah,
I don't think
that'd
they've
be an
been to
interesting.
I want to say they haven't been to the playoffs since that record-setting year. I want to say that's the last time.
Trying to think.
2001. I could be wrong, but it's been a long time.
Well, since they haven't been a very relevant team in quite a while, but that would be. I mean, they're. I don't know if they're like. They could maybe knock off Toronto. I don't know.
Maybe. I
Either.
mean, if Paxton and Walker are going well, they got a shot.
I mean, that's like. I don't know. Honestly,
They got a
like
shot.
all right, so if any of the like top 5 American League wild card teams were to face off, that would be just slugging matches.
Oh yeah,
God damn, there's a lot of power in those teams.
yeah, there is. Oh shit, I
Toronto,
didn't realize
Baltimore.
the Red Sox have won 11 in a row. I didn't even realize that.
Whoa, yep, just saw that myself actually. Yeah, should be man. All right, and then you got
I was talking about this with JD. Like, the Indians probably would be my American League favorite, but they've been fucked out the window with injuries as well to their pitching staff. No Carrasco, no Salazar. Like,
nope.
Jesus.
I mean, I think
If it, so I guess Boston's got to be the favorite, but I don't
I'm
mind
not.
the Rangers either.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna discount Texas. Texas has. I mean, I'll give Texas the nod slightly with pitching.
Yeah, I mean, I like Camels and you obviously,
Yeah, that's a nice one too.
but
So I'm gonna
honestly,
get
but the Red Sox 1-2 is not bad either because Porcello's, or however you pronounce his names, come out
Porcello.
of
Yeah,
nowhere,
yeah.
and Price is done better, I guess, for the most part in the second half. So that's not a bad one too, because before the season started, I was like, "Cool, you got Price. It's not going to matter. All you have is chumps." But
Right, right.
Porcello's giving them that second ace. So
Well, that and they're just tearing the cover off the ball like the Cubs are.
yeah, and their bullpen.
Just
I think the Red Sox bullpen has been just lights out for like a month now
man. All
with all the
right.
guys they have back there.
I mean, all right. So I guess I don't know if I had to choose this, I wouldn't have necessarily picked this at the beginning of the season, but I mean, just going off of like wild card and I mean, I think you have to play the favorites. I think for me, it's Red Sox and Cubs for the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, I usually like to go with underdogs, but it's hard not to pick those two.
Just
And going out on a tree trunk, that would blow away the TV ratings. Like that would probably be an all timer.
and that's honestly that might be what baseball needs. Like baseball might need like we talk about like in the NBA, like there's always these like conspiracy theories about like matchups and refs calling games so like they can draw the games out to game 7 and there's all this talk of how things are a little bit shady just for ratings purposes. Uh
Mm-hmm.
baseball, I mean, if that naturally happened, they would be doing like backflips. I mean,
Yeah, right.
Cubs, Red Sox, god damn the TV ratings for that would be high.
Yeah.
That would be oh man, and I think if I'm not mistaken, the player bonuses for playoff appearances and playoff rounds are based on TV rating money.
Oh, are they really?
I think so. I think it's like I don't know if it's a set amount or a sliding, but for some reason I think it's sliding based on television money. And so like
Huh.
that could mean bigger bonuses for players. You know what I mean? So like on top of winning a World Series, you get this fat paycheck for like TV ratings and merchandising and all this other whatever stuff. Like, Yeah, oh yeah, the players get paid bonuses based on that sort of shit. So
Yeah, and I guess I would hope that's the matchup, just because one of my other closest friends, it's a big baseball fan. He's a big Red Sox guy, so that would be fun.
that'd be good on our website too. I mean, the addicts are
Oh yeah,
lucky.
for sure.
The addicts are lucky. You guys are lucky. All right, Ryan and I have no horse in this race at all. I mean, I guess maybe. I mean, I'm by default now rooting for the Cubs, so I don't have to get pied 108 times. I'm sure Ryan will start rooting for the Dodgers or something shitty like that. But
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, like, yeah, just it's hard not to. I mean, you guys like, all right, so we've got a couple of Red Sox fans. We got definitely a couple of Cubs fans. We got a diehard Washington Nationals fan and Weird Uncle Tris. That man is
Oh dear.
Irish. Or like, or he'll murder you if you talk bad about the Nationals. He'll actually show up at your house and put a knife in your skull.
I hope the Cubs face them in the NLCS and just smoke them.
God damn, you guys would have fun with that. Oh man, that'd be funny.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would get on the site during that series if that happens.
That would be fun. Man, oh man. Well, I'm excited. You know what? Because like, as much as it's sad about the Jose shit, and like my heart's broken about fantasy right now, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like my zest for my zest for the game is sort of gone at the moment. All sports, but I am very excited to watch. Like, because we're gonna watch like every inning of these baseball playoffs, and I'm very excited.
Yeah, this should be fantastic.
Like this looks like
because like I said,
all these matchups are great.
like I've been in, like I said, a little bit of a lull, just waiting for shit to happen. But yeah, once it happens next week, so I think the wild card game is the 4th, so whatever day that is next week. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to watching most of it.
And we may have to do like a couple of live stream hangouts during some of these games, like the wild card games, maybe, or I don't know. I think definitely any kind of clinching games. I think that'd be very fun. Be pretty good.
Yeah, I'd be down.
So a bag full of signed baseballs by Jose Fernandez washes ashore on Miami Beach.
What? Is that a real thing?
Yeah. 20 blocks north of the crash.
What?
What?
Okay.
Wow.
You said 20 miles?
Yeah, 20 blocks, excuse me. 20 blocks north of the crash. So I guess pretty close to, were they on the boat? The fuck does that mean?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, how much are those fucking things worth? I mean, like,
odd.
Damn, dude. Now, see, what would be sweet is if they could like auction those, and like either because I hear he was a very charitable person, so maybe put some of that to whatever sort of charity stuff he liked, or again, he wasn't getting paid a hell of a lot. I mean, the Marlins, remember that was the talk, was he wanted more money, and that was why they were talking about trading him and stuff in the off season. And
yeah, that's the other thing. Other than what he could do on the mound, I was curious to see maybe what team he could have gone to.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, with the kid on the way, maybe since he'd never really got more than his arbitration pay, something like that for his kid, auction some of those baseballs off, make sure his kid goes to college, kind of thing.
Yeah, because I think he was supposed to be a free agent in 2017. I think. I don't know. Andrew would probably know.
Yeah, I think he was coming up on free agency pretty quickly. So,
but in 2000, but selfishly, I was already hoping, and I read stuff about this, that the Cubs, if these rumors were true, were considering not re-signing Arrieta after next year, because that Arrieta's last year is next year, and he turns like 31. I heard they were going to put all their money or all their eggs into the Jose Fernandez basket.
Whoa.
That's, because that's the one thing they're missing is the 20-something-year-old ace. They have the 20-something-year-old position players everywhere.
Yeah.
But that's, I guess Hendricks, you want to include him. But you know what I mean. The 20-something-year-old fireballer.
Well, maybe it's Sale now.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, move him across town. That again, that as a dynasty owner, that's one of the other factors I'm sure that factored in when we were talking about this trade in the FSAA league. Like, right, you're like, oh, if they're going to go all in on Fernandez, I want to keep him. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Man, oh man. Well, I wish you good luck. I do hope to see, like, it'd be nice if you won that league. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take at least one if I get.
I think that's I think that'd be nice. You know, like a tribute win or something. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
All right, now real quick before we shut this thing down, because we're getting pretty close to the end here. I want to mention real quick Andrew's Money League. That's still going on. You're in that, right?
No, I'm not.
You're not in Andrew's Money. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, Ryan and I sucked in JD Ballers League. I guess we can look at that. That's the Roto. Keep on keeping on. I forget how many we keep, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Okay. So that league I have no. Okay. So I didn't lose a keeper. I didn't lose a keeper in Joe's league. All right. Woo!
Who's facing off in that league?
Well, it's Roto. So that is
Well, who's winning it?
Right now, I believe Joe recruited some of these managers from
so people don't know. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people we don't know, but there are addicts. Evan, the Walking Dead. Evan is he's an addict. We see him on the website here and there. He's mostly baseball, but he's in first place right now with 160. And then this John guy, Outhouse Rats, he was an addict. I think he is an addict. I don't know. We haven't seen him in a long ass time. He's in a bunch of our leagues though. So he was an addict at one point. He's in second place. And then of course, basically like, I mean, Andrew and J Money, they're not in it. I mean, they're close, but they're like 10 points behind third place. So they're not really looking at trophies. So that, you know, we're just going to keep on keeping on.
Okay.
We'll keep some players, but we're coming down to, you know, this is the championship bracket in Andrew's Money League, and no addicts. These are no addicts. This is some of Andrew from Fantasy Aid's friends or people he knows, Christopher and Jaime Ramos or Jamie Ramos. I don't know if it's Jaime or Jamie. Jaime. They're pretty close right now. They're kind of, I mean, again, the week's just starting, so there's not much to talk about there, but so that's the matchup there.
That's good. And I can't believe it's the last week, man. God, this has flown by.
Yeah, this season did blast by real quick. I was having a lot of fun, especially in the dynasty leagues. And you know, I'm not even going to worry about not coming away with a championship. I wanted double championships. I wanted at least a championship. But like losing a player of the caliber of Jose in those leagues, I mean, same thing for you. And you know what I mean? Like you probably would, if you lose the championship in the FSAA dynasty, like the pain of that loss is somehow like not in comparison to losing a player and how you're going to have to recover from that next year, especially a player that is like almost solely responsible for you being where you are.
Pretty much. And winning would at least soften the blow a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, I got one title, fuck it, I'm out.
Well, and he got you there. He got you there, and you can, at that point, you're like, all right, I won a championship, but you know, where do I go from here? And then like, I don't know. I'm just glad I'm glad fantasy baseball's over. I really am.
No, I'm ready to transition myself.
Yeah, like it's football season, and I'm getting ready for basketball, I guess, and I don't know. I mean,
my main two leagues, you know, ended last week, so I'm already kind of had one foot out the door.
Okay.
But you know, I'm still alive in the FSAAs. But yeah, as soon as they end, I'll just be like, all right, here we go, full football mode.
Yeah. We're gonna have to. I mean, again, I think we've got like 2 managers to replace in our home dynasty baseball leagues. So, you know, I know we're talking about getting you and JD in the leagues. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out. So,
all right.
Oh wow. Okay, so Andrew from Fantasy 8 is mentioning that the balls that washed
Hmm.
ashore
Hmm.
were on the boat.
Okay. Oh, I see it
And
now. I see what you see. Okay.
yeah, apparently Jose's checkbook. Now he has a checkbook.
I know that's weird. What is this?
Who
1990?
yeah, who has a checkbook? I mean, I guess if you have a lot of money, maybe you still write checks. I don't know. What
Right.
who for being a young person, like you'd think he'd have like Apple Pay or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
like he
Or
doesn't even
just
have it. No debit card or credit card at all. Like he just his money's all like theoretically flying through the air. It's like all electronics, ones and zeros, and
hmm
that's how most kids are. I think. I don't know. Shit. Damn. So a checkbook. Okay, interesting. So I guess it went to a lifeguard. I wonder what the lifeguard like. There were only 7 balls in this bag,
You
not
know,
8.
you know how strange it would be to find that if you're the person that
Eerie,
finds. Yeah, it'd be really eerie
eerie,
seeing that
eerie.
wash, finding that on a beach somewhere.
Like I'd be like, oh, that's pretty cool though that he kept like a bag full of autographed baseballs. It's just like toss out to like if you ran into him somewhere, he'd be like, oh, here you go, or like a
Probably,
kid
yeah,
wearing a Marlins hat or some shit.
yeah.
Here you go.
Some kid flying by in like a tube on the water. Here you go.
Yeah,
Just
man.
launching it at him.
Right? Like, damn. Ah.
Just skipping it across the water.
Like blast him with the heater.
Like, you want me to come over to you? No, I'm just gonna skip it 50 yards to your boat. Don't worry about it.
Like skimming rocks. Yeah.
He could do
Hilarious.
it.
Oh yeah. Oh man. What a loss. What a shameful loss. Let's move on to other fantasy sports. Ah.
Yep.
All right. Well, you got anything you want to promote? Like you got anything you want to mention? I know we got your YouTube channel, CubbyNole. It's blowing up pretty big.
Well, I wouldn't say blow it big, but it's
Well, you're getting
slowly
some views.
growing.
You're getting some
I
views.
mean, it's pretty specified. It's a niche channel. It's not too broad. It's Florida State Seminoles and Cubs, of course. It's
Right.
CubbyNole is the name of the channel. And yeah, if you're listening to this, feel free to stop on by and listen to
Subscribe.
subscribe. Subscribing's good. And you can hear me rant and rave about both of those teams. I'll probably actually do a Cubs one soon. I haven't done one in a little bit, so
Yeah, I was going to ask, have you switched over to Florida State pretty much full time now because of
pretty
the season?
much. Yeah,
Okay.
the season and the fact that the Cubs didn't get nearly the views. So
Okay, which is surprising. But as the playoffs as the playoffs heat up, like I think some Cubs talk would be appropriate.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I'd probably do something around that time. But
And we haven't seen Harry Carey in a minute.
yes, well, I think I am taking your advice. I think you or Ryan mentioned this, or maybe both of you, that when I go, I'm bringing that costume.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun as shit, man. Oh man, man.
And at the very least, Halloween's only a month away. So
Right. That'll be good. It'll be good. I'm excited about that. Oh,
yeah.
breaking out the Harry Carey again. Okay, so yeah, this is that's our buddy Addict James, and you can hit him up on Twitter too, at CubbyNole NOLE. Woo! Right. All right, there we go. A little shout out. So this was a good podcast. It was nice to air some grievances, get the Jose Fernandez out of our system, root for the Cubs a little bit.
Oh yeah, always good. Felt good.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing, it's it was a fast season. It wasn't a long season, but I guess it went by fast. But
yeah, they always seem to.
Yeah, but it's still taxing, even when it seems to fly by. I feel like you're just kind of like, whoa, all right, I'm ready for the next thing. I'm ready to actually. I'm ready to actually like sit back and watch baseball, like without the added pressure of a fantasy team. You know what I mean?
I mean, you're getting that feeling when you're not sad to see your team get eliminated.
Right. Yeah.
Because one of my teams got eliminated. I was like, oh, well, fuck it, let's move on.
Yeah, like let's actually watch. Because I don't know if you're like me. I mean, we have our favorite teams, but like when you have fantasy or in like the implications of a fantasy team, it just sort of seems to like it changes your watching of regular sports.
It feels a little more like work.
Well, I feel like I'm watching sports and I'm not watching my team. I'm looking for my team. You know what I mean? Like I'm not watching a
Yeah.
D-backs game, like rooting for the D-backs. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, they're playing the Rockies. I wonder if Arenado is going to hit one, you know?
So we're basically a bunch of selfish motherfuckers. So now maybe we can be unselfish and just enjoy the
Exactly.
game.
And enjoy baseball, playoff baseball. This is like our vacation. I like that. I'm excited for playoff baseball. And there's great matchups this year. So, man,
Okay.
Cubs Red Sox World Series, and I got 108 pies on the line. God damn.
Here we go.
Oh, okay. So real quick, I just want to mention, I have to change up the order of videos we're going to be releasing. The stuff Ryan and I worked on this weekend. I'm going to open with you. You're
Okay.
If you go to our website, fantasysportsaddicts.com, and you sign up, or you have already signed up, you haven't introduced yourself. Feel free to introduce yourself to everybody. You know, you can leave your little backstory about why you're a fantasy addict. Your fantasy, addiction confessional was tremendous. Yeah. And I turned it, like I told you, I was going to do it as Buddy Cole,
Which should have been fantastic.
The club owner from Kids in the Hall, of the gay club. We decided it was just a little too, maybe just a little too dated and not, I don't.
Nobody would have gotten it.
Probably not. And I don't look like Buddy Cole. I mean, so it would have been just weird with me with a really mincy sort of effeminate gay club owner thing going on. So I ended up sort of I kept the effeminate portion of it, but sort of turned it into a James Lipton read, I think, from inside the actor's studio. So it's now it's almost like a Conan sketch or something. You ever see those Conan sketches with James Lipton?
This post was scrumptious.
Yeah. So
I can't think of a word.
I basically just read it as a monologue. I hope it's funny. I mean, I don't know. Ryan and I are just fucking around, basically doing some of this shit. But I'm gonna try to I'm gonna transition from the sadness of Jose to some funny shit. Then we'll get into some basketball videos and stuff.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the post there.
Oh, that's great. That's brilliant. I mean, that's the thing we like to see. We like to see Bronson's asking who the fuck is Buddy Cole. I mean, Kids in the Hall was that was almost before my time even. You know?
Yeah, that was I was really young when that was really popular.
It's Canadian sketch comedy. Just look up Buddy Cole on YouTube and it's hilarious. The humor may be very dated. I don't know. It's Canadian. Thank you for joining me today, James. That was good to have a co-host for this podcast while Ryan's out of town. I appreciate it.
No, I enjoyed myself. It was great. I guess there's only one thing left to do.
That's the Fantasy Sports Serenity Prayer. You want to do it or?
No, I'm gonna leave it to the professional.
Okay, all right. Let's see here. Let me get throat's a little dry. All righty. Fantasy gods, please grant me the serenity to set my ideal lineup, courage to add drop aggressively, and the wisdom, as always, to make good trades. Motherfucking man. All right.
Amen.
Check us out next week. Ryan should be back in town. We may have more guest hosts along the way. Probably going to try to do a live stream somewhere along the way here too. But if you want to hang out, you want to get into some drafts, draft. Did somebody say draft? Ooh,
draft.
Yeah. Are you a hockey fan?
Playoff hockey.
Okay. Would you play a fantasy hockey team?
I may. A friend of mine who's like me doesn't get into it, but he said he actually had fun with it.
Fantasy hockey actually is pretty fun. If we could put together a fantasy hockey league, I would like that. A good fantasy hockey draft. I mean, again, it would actually be interesting. There's not many of us that are massive hockey fans, but I know JD's a pretty big hockey fan. He and I did a mock draft. That was pretty fun. Yeah, a little hockey action. Did somebody say draft? Yeah.
Draft.
So if you want to get into a draft for some basketball or some hockey, hit us up on the website. You can check out that message board, fantasysportsaddicts.com, or just hit us up on Twitter at letter F, letter S, the word double, letter A, FSAA. Thank you for listening. We'll see you again next time. Also, please subscribe to our iTunes podcast and leave a review. Are you on iTunes, Cubby?
I am not.
Okay. You may, might consider that at some point as the thing grows, start doing MP3 files and just posting them on iTunes. You can get it all set up so it automatically posts and stuff. It's pretty sweet.
Okay, cool.
We'll have to, yeah. Oh, Bronson says he's going to draft all Lightning players if we do a hockey draft. All right, you're not going to be in the league, Bronson. All right, yeah, always hey, quality control. Quality controls. There's some leagues Bronson can't be in. There we go. That's quality control. That's how you know you're going to get in a good league when you go to fantasysportsaddicts.com. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening this week. We will see you next time for podcast 62. Thank you for joining me today, James.
No problem.
Check out his YouTube channel and hit him up on Twitter at CubbyNole. All right. See you guys next week.